The scene opens with a moment of quiet anticipation. A hand, delicate yet trembling with uncertainty, reaches upward against a backdrop of the shimmering city lights visible through a window. The movement is slow and deliberate, capturing the heavy tension in the air. It is a gesture of longing, a bridge being built across the small but profound distance between two people. As the hand remains suspended, the internal struggle becomes more evident. A speech bubble appears with a simple, trailing I, signaling a confession that is caught in the throat. The city's soft, purple-hued glow reflects the vulnerability of the moment, where words feel inadequate to describe the depth of the emotion being felt. The focus shifts to the man's face, captured in a tight, intimate close-up. He lets out a soft, weary sigh, his eyes half-lidded and filled with a mixture of restraint and intense longing. A faint blush creeps across his cheeks, betraying the composure he tries so hard to maintain. The sigh carries the weight of 1,000 unspoken thoughts, echoing through the stillness of the room. The narrative tension peaks as the woman's inner monologue finally breaks through the silence. Set against the atmospheric light of the high-rise apartment, a jagged, spiked thought bubble declares her definitive truth. I want this man too. It is the moment of no return, the realization that the attraction is mutual, overwhelming, and impossible to ignore any longer. The sequence culminates in a powerful, full-body shot. All hesitation has vanished as the man leans over her, his muscular frame silhouetted against the elegant room. The woman reaches up, her hands gripping his shoulders, pulling him closer as they hover on the verge of a kiss. The air is electric, the background sparkles with a soft bokeh effect, and the world outside the window disappears, leaving only the two of them in their shared, heated moment. The heavy purple atmosphere of the night gives way to the soft, ethereal light of morning. Sunlight filters through the large windows, casting a gentle, hazy glow across the room. The city outside is now bathed in the pale blues and warm yellows of a rising sun, signaling a transition from the intense, shared secrets of the dark to the undeniable reality of the day. In the quiet of the morning, the woman begins to stir. Her eyes flutter open slowly as she lets out a soft, hazy She remains lying down, her long, wavy hair sprawling across the white pillows. There is a peaceful, almost dazed expression on her face, as if she is still caught between the memory of the night and the consciousness of the present. As clarity returns, her internal thoughts begin to process the magnitude of what has occurred. Two simple speech bubbles appear against a stark white background. Ah, followed by the heavy realization, Yanhyuk and I. The sentence trails off, hanging in the air as she grapples with the shift in their relationship and the fact that there is no going back to how things were before. She looks over to find Yanhyuk already awake and present. He is shown shirtless, his powerful and athletic physique fully visible in the morning light. Unlike the softness of the previous night, his expression is now one of intense focus and perhaps a touch of solemnity. His brow is slightly furrowed as he gazes downward, his silent presence filling the room with a renewed sense of gravity. The full weight of the situation finally hits her, causing a physical jolt of surprise. A deep blush spreads across her face and shoulders as she realizes her vulnerability. She quickly clutches the white sheets to her chest, pulling them up to cover herself as she looks away in a mixture of embarrassment and shock. A speech bubble containing only an exclamation perfectly captures her speechless state as the reality of the morning settles in. The golden light of morning filters through the floor-to-ceiling windows of a luxurious suite, casting a soft glow over the room. A young woman with long, wavy mahogany hair sits up in bed, clutching the white sheets to her chest. Her expression is a mix of uncertainty and subtle longing as she glances toward the empty side of the room. A thought bubble escapes her mind. Did he leave already? The silence of the room feels heavy, punctuated only by the sight of an unfinished bottle on the table in the background. Just as the silence becomes unbearable, a sharp creak breaks the stillness. The camera zooms in on the doorway, where a tall, broad-shouldered man is entering the room. He is dressed in a crisp white button-down shirt, partially unbuttoned at the collar, revealing a glimpse of his chest. His expression is unreadable, hidden in the shadows as he steps back into the private space they shared. The perspective shifts to show both characters. The woman turns her head sharply toward the door, her cheeks flushing a light pink as she sees him standing there. The man pauses in the doorway, caught in the middle of adjusting his clothes. A small, startled "ah" escapes her lips, the tension between them palpable in the elegant, dimly lit hallway. The man steps fully into the light, his dark, neatly styled hair framing a face that is both stern and handsome. He looks directly at her, his deep blue eyes cool but attentive. Observing her startled state, he speaks with a calm, steady voice that fills the room. "You're awake." There is an air of composed authority about him that contrasts with her visible nervousness. The scene focuses on the man's hands as he meticulously buttons his shirt. Every movement is slow and deliberate, highlighting his slender fingers and the expensive fabric of his attire. As he finishes dressing, the atmosphere suggests a transition from the intimacy of the night before back to the cold, professional reality of the day ahead. The scene opens with a high-angle view of a spacious, modern bedroom. A woman with long, flowing, reddish-brown hair sits up in a large bed, clutching a white duvet to her chest. She looks toward the corner of the room, surprised to find her companion already awake. In a speech bubble above her, she acknowledges the situation with a simple, "Yes, you're up early." The room is bathed in the soft, diffused light of early morning, reflecting off the polished marble accents and the clean lines of the minimalist furniture. The perspective shifts to follow the man, seen from behind as he walks away from the bed. He is already fully dressed in a crisp, light-colored button-down shirt and dark trousers, his posture upright and composed. The sound of his steady footsteps is punctuated by a bold, clomp sound effect as he traverses the elegant herringbone-patterned wooden floor. Over his shoulder, he responds calmly to the woman. "Yes, as you can see." The camera moves in for a closer shot of the woman, who remains in bed, her expression a mix of grogginess and curiosity. The man's arm and torso are partially visible in the foreground, creating a sense of intimacy between them. Large speech bubbles dominate the top of the frame as he explains his reasoning. "I thought about waking you, but I figured it'd be better to let you sleep a bit longer, so I got ready while you were sleeping." Focusing on the man's hands, we see him reaching down toward a bedside table to pick up his wristwatch. He is adjusting his sleeve, the silver cufflink catching the light. Meanwhile, the woman's voice continues from off-screen, expressing a hint of concern about their schedule. She says, "You could have just woken me. I hope I didn't make us late for checkout." In the background, a bottle of liquor and a glass sit on a distant table, suggesting the remains of the previous evening. The final scene is a close-up of the man's hand as he lifts the watch with a quick whip motion to check the time. The watch face is simple and elegant, matching his sophisticated attire. He offers a final word of reassurance to ease her worries, his voice steady and kind. "It's fine. It's still early." The warm glow of the morning sun spills across the table, signaling the start of a calm, unhurried day. The camera lingers on the man's hand as he finishes checking his watch. He pauses for a beat, his fingers still wrapped around the leather strap as if choosing his next words carefully. A small, contemplative speech bubble appears at the bottom of the frame, simply stating, "and." This brief hesitation heightens the tension in the room, drawing focus to the unspoken thoughts passing between the two. The man looks back toward the bed with a soft, knowing expression. A gentle smile is etched onto his face as he delivers a line that carries a weight of intimacy. Above him, a large speech bubble contains his playful yet pointed words. "Consider it a little thank you for letting me push you so hard yesterday." His dark, neatly styled hair and calm eyes suggest a man who is entirely comfortable with the suggestive nature of his comment. The perspective shifts to a medium shot of the man's torso, emphasizing his physical presence. He is busy with the final touches of his morning routine, adjusting the cuff of his white shirt while the light catches the metallic rim of his watch. His posture remains relaxed and confident, a slight smirk still visible as he moves with purpose through the room, seemingly unfazed by the provocative statement he just made. The focus snaps back to the woman, capturing her immediate and visceral reaction to his words. A large, stylized blush sound effect sweeps across the top of the frame as her face turns a deep, burning crimson. Her wide eyes and slightly parted lips betray her shock and embarrassment, her gaze fixed off-camera as she processes the bluntness of his "thank you." A single bead of sweat on her cheek emphasizes her flustered state. In the final scene, the woman is shown from the chest up, still clutching the white sheet tightly against her bare shoulders. Her long, wavy hair cascades down her back, and her face remains heavily flushed with a mix of shyness and agitation. She stays rooted in place, her knuckles white from gripping the fabric, unable to find a retort to his bold remark. The soft morning light continues to play across her skin, contrasting with the intense heat of the blush spreading across her cheeks. Standing by the bed, the man checks his wristwatch with a calm, composed demeanor. He looks down at the woman, his voice softening as he notices her wakefulness at such an early hour. "It's only 6 o'clock, he remarks, his gaze steady. He offers a considerate suggestion, perhaps hoping she might find more rest. "Why don't you get some more sleep?" Despite his suggestion, the woman remains sitting up, her hands tightly gripping the white duvet as if it were a shield. She looks away, her face flushed with a lingering pink hue, and declines his offer with a quiet but firm resolve. "No, I'll get ready too, since I'm already up," she replies, determined to face the day alongside him rather than retreating back into sleep. Upon hearing her decision, the man does not argue. Instead, he closes his eyes briefly, a small, almost imperceptible smile playing on his lips. He accepts her choice with a polite and graceful acknowledgement, murmuring, "As you wish." His expression suggests a hidden warmth, or perhaps a quiet satisfaction at her persistence. A long, lingering moment follows as the two stay in the room together. The man stands tall near the open closet, his hands in his pockets, while the woman remains perched on the large bed, enveloped in the sheets. The vastness of the luxury suite seems to amplify the stillness between them. A floating text caption hangs in the air, perfectly capturing the thick, palpable tension. Awkward. The silence finally becomes too much for her to bear. The woman looks toward him, her eyes searching his back as he stands a few feet away. She opens her mouth to speak, but the words seem to catch in her throat, leaving her with only a hesitant, trailing murmur. The uncertainty of their situation remains unresolved in the quiet morning light.